Hello and welcome back to Gabbett Media. I'm Grant Abbott, and today, due to popular demand, we are rigging our very low poly character. This will be a very basic rigging tutorial, and it's a follow-on from my previous tutorial about making this low poly block person. So I'll go through the very basics of rigging and a tiny bit about animation. If you want to learn more about animation, then do follow the links in the description and the card in the corner. I do also have a video for rigging characters. I'll put a link in the description and a card in the corner, and that will show you how you can rig characters that aren't in this sort of blocky form, but it also shows you how you can use add-ons and do it quite quickly and easily, and use things like motion capture animations that are already pre-made. So if you're looking for a quick, easy solution, then take a look at that video. It is 2.79, but comment in the description if you want me to update that one. Okay, so here we are in Blender. I think we're going to choose the woman to animate, because my man is slightly asymmetrical. Not that it makes a huge amount of difference in this case, but it'll just make things a bit quicker. So I'll hide my man. So what I need to do is add some bones. A good place to start is right in the center. So I'll shift right click in the center there, and that will move my 3D cursor into the middle. Shift A to add, and then down to armature. And that will make a single bone in the middle there. One thing that's very helpful is to go across to the object context menu, click on that and go down to viewport display and click in front. That way wherever we go, we can see our bones. I'll go to front view again with one on my numpad and into edit mode now. So I'm into edit mode with tab, or I can go to edit mode up here, and I can select the different parts of my bone, top, bottom, or the whole bone from in the middle. And I can move it around with G, rotate, and so forth. But what I want to do is grab the end and press E to extrude in the Z axis. I might as well constrain it to the Z axis, then it will stay in the middle, and move it up to there. So I'm creating a bone for each of my objects. Let's move up slightly, E to extrude in the Z axis up to the top there. So that's that bone for the torso. You could actually do two bones for the torso because it has got a loop cut in there, so it would bend. And that's something to note. You need to have the topology that will actually bend in order for the bones to work. So this bone connected to the middle of the waist here, it makes sense only to have one bone. If I have, let's say, 4 bones and I wanted it to bend all over the place, it wouldn't, because it's only got 8 vertices to move around. So with the top one selected, let's E to extrude that and constrain to the Z axis and move it up for the neck, and one for the head, E to extrude in the Z. I'm not going to worry too much about my objects not being in the center, but you can realign them if you want to. So we've got the middle there. Now let's create an arm. So if I shift right click over here, that will move my cursor over here, and in edit mode, if I press shift A now, it just adds a bone, because that's the only option to add. This is pointing up, so we can grab the end here, G to grab and pull it down, and I'm going to pull it to the end of the forearm here, and this icosphere is going to be moved with this forearm block with one bone, so E to extrude down to there. Now if you want to, you could do a couple of bones here, maybe a thumb bone as well. I'm going to keep it nice and simple and just extrude one out for the hands. Now we need to get this arm connected to the middle section. So don't follow along with this, but I'm just going to show you. If I go to pose mode now, that's how we pose our characters, and move this arm, so R to rotate, you can see that it moves all the ones below it. So this one is a child of this one, which is the parent, and this one is the child of this one, which is the parent. And a good analogy when thinking about this is that you think of a mother with a baby inside her. So the mother moves and the baby moves with her. But the child can actually move independently of the mother. It does get weird, of course, when you get a baby inside a baby. So these are all parented up the line. The mother here has a child and a grandchild. So I'm going to select those bones and press Alt-R, and that removes any rotation. Alt is always kind of the undo of a command. So Alt-G would undo the movement, and Alt-S undo scale, and Alt-P would actually undo a parent. So thinking about that, we want to connect this bone to this middle here. So when we move this one, it moves the arm with it. Now I've just noticed I've got my rotation around my 3D cursor, so I'll change that back to the medium point, which is the default, and it will make more sense when I rotate it now. So these ones are all children of each other, and this is the main parent, and it looks like a great grandparent or something of this one here. So like I say, we want this one to move with this bone here. So when I move the torso, the arms go with it. So I need to go back to edit mode for that, to over here to edit mode. And you can start following along again. And I need to select this bone, and then the one you want to parent to last. So that becomes the active object. So shift select the bone in the middle here, and that's highlighted yellow, so we know that's the active object. If I press Ctrl P now for parent, you get this menu. You can either press connected, which will actually move that bone to the other bone, or keep offset, which is what we want at the moment because we want to keep the distance between them. So again, don't follow this bit. I'll just go to pose mode and show the results of that. So if I now move this one, it moves the arm with it. So this is the child of this parent, and this is the child of this parent, and now this is the child of this object, which is the child of this parent, which is the child of this parent. Hopefully that's all making sense. So let's go back to edit mode. You can follow along again. So now we need a leg down here. So I'll move down here, and I'll shift right click so my cursor comes to this point, and shift A to add a bone. Let's grab the top of that bone with G, pull it down to the top of the knee joint there. E to extrude, pull it down, and one last one, E to extrude, and pull it down there. Now obviously I need to go to side view, so 3 on my numpad, and move these bones around. I'll quickly do that. It's easiest to constrain to the Y axis, then you know you're not moving it out of position in the front view. Okay, so we've got a basic armature set up, but we need to mirror these to the other side, and I need to parent this one. So let's do the parenting first. So child first, then the parent. Shift select the parent. The parent is the active object because it's highlighted yellow. Control P, keep offset. So I'll show you what connected looks like. It will move your whole object across to the end of that bone. I'll undo that. Control P, keep offset, and then you get that faint black line. When I go to pose mode now, don't follow along with this, and grab that object, it moves the whole thing. So back to edit mode, and let's talk about mirroring these across to the other side. If I select all of them, just by box selecting, we can press Shift D to duplicate. If I press X now, I can move it across to the other side, so you can see my duplication. Now we can right click and mirror, and if I press X global, that will mirror in the X axis. Let's just press G then X and move it back into place. Okay, so we've got our armature set up now. You can test it out in pose mode if you like, and just see how it moves, and what's a parent and what's a child. If you've moved it around, select everything, and Alt-R will remove any rotations. If you grab the middle one, that's the only one you can actually press G to grab, and that will move your whole object. Then you need to press Alt-G to remove any movement. So let's go back to front mode for a moment, and we're going to parent our mesh this time to our armature. Now don't follow along. There's a couple of ways of doing this, and I'm going to show you the easiest way for no errors, but it does take a tiny bit longer. The quick way, if I go into object mode, select everything, and just make sure the armature is the active object, which it is at the moment because it's highlighted yellow. If it isn't, you just press Shift on it, and that will be the last one that you've selected and therefore active. Then you press Control P. If you don't get this menu, then the armature's probably not been selected last and isn't the active object. But you can press with automatic weights. So if I press that and then click on my armature and go to pose mode, you can see that it's all rigged automatically and the weights are set automatically. Now there's a problem here where these objects here are somehow attached to this bone over here. And that's why in this case it's probably easier to set up your weights in a slightly different way. Because these are all separate objects, it's fairly easy to hook the individual bones up to the individual objects. So now I'm back to where I was before I parented the bones, ready to do it a different way. Before I do that, it is actually a good idea, with everything selected, just to press Ctrl A to set or apply your rotation and scale. That can sometimes solve any tiny glitches. So let's start with the hand down here. Now I want to be able to select the hand, then this bone. Now if I click on this bone, it selects object mode. So I'll need to go across to pose mode, and then deselect this bone with doing a Control left click box select, and then select this bone, and now I can press Control P, bone, and then I can rotate this and it just moves that hand, which is great. So by selecting bone, I've only hooked up to that one individual bone. Now if I want to select this object here, I can't actually click on it. I can click on my different bones, but I can't click on my object. I would have to come out of pose mode into object mode, select this bone, select the armature, back into pose mode, then select this bone, and then Control P, bone. And we see that's working nicely. But it's slightly quicker if we turn off, under the edit menu, lock object modes. This is quite handy. So if I turn this off, I can now select my object, then select this bone, because it's already in pose mode, so it's locking that object mode. and it's locking this in its previous mode, as it were. And now I can select two different objects at the same time. I can then press Ctrl P and bone, and now when I move this bone, it's all selected. So I'll explain it once more. I select my object I want to be the child, the bone second with Shift, and you'll notice that this bone has been selected as well because it was previously selected. You will have to press Control and box select to get rid of that one. You can just, of course, press Alt A to deselect everything, then reselect the one you want. I just find it easy with Control box select. Control is to deselect something. And I want to parent these two together, so Control P and bone. That way when I move this bone, that all moves with it. And I should have selected this one as well, that would have been easier. This one and this one, Control P, bone. Now you can do two objects at once, so let's do the other side. This object and this object are both on this bone, so I can select this bone last, get rid of that bone with Control left click, box select, Control P, bone. Let's check that's working, and that's working fine. So you need to go through your object, connecting up the bones like that. Then lastly, put it into a weird position to make sure it's working, which mine seems to be okay, apart from the arms inserted into the leg. And then if you want to reset your position, just select all your bones with A, and then Alt R. And if you've moved the center bone, which is G to grab, then you'll need to press Alt G. Now a very quick note about animation. I'll very briefly run through it for you. We have our timeline down the bottom here. Let's move my playhead by clicking and dragging it so it's at frame 1. And let's move our character into some weird position. Remember to have your armature selected and make sure you're in pose mode. Okay, so we've got this strange position here. If I select all my bones now and press I for insert keyframe, and then select location and rotation. Now I could just select rotation because I've only rotated the bones, but if you've got that middle bone selected and you've moved it somewhere, then you need location and rotation. So I, location and rotation, and that sets this tiny diamond object there, and that means there's a keyframe set. Now let's go along to, let's say, 50 frames and move our character around again. Select all your bones and then press I to insert a keyframe, so location and rotation. Now when I drag between these two frames, you can see they animate. So the computer works out where the bones need to be moving to go from one to the other keyframes. I can copy these keyframes, so if I select one and press Shift D and move it to a frame 100, I then get a sort of looping animation where they're doing something really odd. Okay, so that's a really basic approach to rigging and animation, just to give you an idea, so you can have a bit of fun and a bit of a play. Do remember that you have got your lock object modes set, so you will be able to select different objects and in pose mode, so don't move your body, just move your rig. So I hope that helps you all. Do comment below if you want anything extra. There's only so far I'm going to go with this course. I'll probably do some more in-depth character tutorials in later series. So thanks for watching, and I hope this helps.